Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I am back with another review. And today I'm taking a look at from the Transformers Buzzworthy Bumblebee line. Has this even been officially announced by Hasbro yet? This is Origin Bumblebee. It's a Target exclusive. It is a Bumblebee figure based on how Bumblebee looked in its first appearance, first seen in the first episode of the original G1 cartoon. And I gotta say, this is a fun figure. Now, this figure was purchased at a Target. It's Target exclusive. And, we're going to talk a little bit more about that later on in the video. I just want to get to the toy real quick. Now, I should also mention that it was purchased at a Target, but I picked it up off of eBay. Now, we're going to start with the accessories real quick, just so I can get them out of the way. Bumblebee does come with some great reproduction of the Energon rods. Unfortunately, the figure can't hold them. These little nubs here at the end don't come off. This is all one molded piece. One thing I do want to show is there are slots for tabs, so it's quite possible that if you have a figure that has like those underside tabs, that might be able to fit in. And you get a whole bunch of them. You get like 5. And they even show you in the instructions just wrapping the arms around them. So yeah, those are going to go back in the packaging. His two other accessories are a new mold jetpack. Don't really remember Bumblebee using this in the first episode, but it is nice to have. It can store here on top, but it really doesn't blend in. The next thing is a reproduction of Bumblebee's blaster from that first episode, and also that little core class Bumblebee. I think this is a better version. Now, of course, you can store it here on either wing and the top, but if you really want to do a little something inconspicuous, there's the hands right underneath. Boom. Figure will be a little lopsided, but you do then have a clean top. Other than that, there's not much to the vehicle mode. It looks very nice, very show accurate. Yes, it's a bit of a parts former, but not that bad. And the transformation is actually fairly involved. And what two things I'm really happy about: all the joints are tight, but not like the bad kind of tight, the good kind of tight, and everything pegs together well. So with that being said, let's get into the transformation. First thing you want to do is come up front here, and you want to unpeg this front section, come around the back, free up the arms there, the legs, excuse me, the side panels, and just lift this up. And like I said, pegs in quite well, and you're just going to bring that forward just like that to get it out of the way. Now you've already unpegged the back here, so what you can go ahead and do is these panels right here tuck underneath what is the waist, so you want to free them up and then straighten the legs out. You bend them out at the knee, and there we go. Next, what you want to do is rotate so these saucer bits face upward. Come into the side here, unpeg from the side, angle that foot out slightly. This top saucer bit is on a double hinge, so you want to fold out on the hinge here by that leg section, and then fold it down again. Fold that section up, come around the back here, and these little panels are on ball joints, so you want to rotate them in such a way that they're kind of straight and they sort of peg into the back of that leg. Do that one there. Come around here, do the same thing, separate it from the foot, bring that foot down, rotate that panel down, up, and down again. And then finally the feet will collapse inward. They're on a double hinge, so bring them up just like so on both sides. And here you have the legs done. But we're not done, because you got to turn the figure around. Come in here, you want to separate the arms, and you want to rotate them out on these arm panels. And again, very nice, very tight. I do appreciate that. Go ahead and angle the arms out slightly. Instructions don't show you to do that. I'm showing you to do that. Give yourself a little wiggle room. Rotate the figure around at the waist. Come in the top here, bring this chest section down. You want to collapse it upward so that it will just snap into place. This back panel here, you're going to bring it down just like that. Then out, and then this front section pegs in to that hood piece. I guess the hood piece, cockpit piece, fold it up, and then collapse this against the back. Now finally comes to the hands. Come in behind, flip the hands out, and here's the thing. Here's a fun thing. If you have the gun pegged in, you can actually use it to flip the hand forward, and he'll be holding the gun in a ready position. Now, in terms of articulation, the feet do have a side-to-side pivot, as well as a hinge forward and back. If you start to use the transformation joint, you can get a lot of movement out of it. Arms are on universal joints, so it's universal shoulder, swivel, and a over 90-degree bend at the elbow. No wrist articulation due to the transformation. Yeah, obviously we saw the waist articulation and the head ball joint, but again, because of that design, it's a little finicky. So there we go. I'll adjust the camera ever so slightly, give us a little more room to work with Bumblebee. And of course, you can come in, add the jetpack back on, so you can have a flying Bumblebee. And have them hold the rods. Like I said, this is how the instructions show you how to do it. Just shove them in there, a couple in there, and spray and pray. Well, no, this is not a Nerf, but yeah. If I remember, he didn't really have that good of a grip on them to begin with, hence why he kind of got wounded by one of the Seekers. But yeah, I mean, those Energon rods are really nice to have and are great display options. But I'm going to be leaving them in the packaging, just to for the sake of storage, and don't want to lose the piece or anything. Now, since this is a Bumblebee, and I've gotten the requests in the past, since I think a lot of parents might be buying this for kids, I will show you now how to transform it back into its saucer mode. Not that difficult. So obviously, I'm going to remove all the accessories, move the backpack, put it off to the side, bring the arms back down straight. Again, angle them out. Don't really, it's not a necessity, but it does make life easy. And you can fold the hands up now. They kind of have you do it later. Come around to the back, flip it out, flip that other section out, make sure it snaps into place. Kind of got to like massage it in, and then bring it up so it's sitting with that yellow hinge piece angled like that. Come around the front, unpeg the chest piece, and by the way, the chest piece, no fake piece. It's chest and robot mode, the front of the saucer mode. Bring that up, and then after you bring it up, just flip it over like that, so it's out of the way, so we don't need to focus on it too much. Rotate the waist around, bring the arms now down to a completely neutral position, and fold them in on that hinge piece. There we go. Rotate the figure around so that the top of the saucer mode is facing up. Hinge out the feet and angle them down ever so slightly. Come into the side here, flip down that side piece, and then flip up and over that saucer piece, just like so. Remember it's on a double hinge, so always push from the hinge, not from the piece. Now, I recommend, even the instructions show you folding out that piece next. I recommend pushing the foot in first and then bringing that piece down. I think it just gives you a little more of a clearance to work with and a little more space. So you get that. Rotate the saucer bits in. Bring the rotate the legs at the knee, bend the legs at the knee joint, so they come up just like so. And you're gonna, and what you want to do is they will sort of tuck in to those arm panel joints right there. And as you rotate it up, make sure that little tab right there goes under the waist joint. And I guess you can actually go ahead and peg that back section together now. Let me just save you a little grief. Bring this back section back, snap it in. That will help bring a lot of things together. And then snap that front piece up. Yeah, everything comes together relatively quickly there at the end. So remember, you want to bring that back section back, push that top piece back, and then flip up that front section right there. And there you have Bumblebee back in its saucer mode. So we'll pause, and I'll be back with my final thoughts. What can I say? I like this. I like Bumblebee. I like this origin mode. Just make sure that you have everything pegged in. You know, sometimes stuff might come a little loose. Now, unfortunately, what I don't like is the packaging it comes in. In fact, I'm going to have to move Bumblebee out of the way here, and I'm going to have to show you what I'm talking about. And that's the box here. Let me zoom out if I can, adjust the camera, and you can basically see it there. This is the new boxes for 2022. Now, Hasbro have been talking about reducing plastic, this, that, and the other thing. What I didn't realize they were going to do is give you an open front like this. This is not safe. This is how figures are going to get broken. This is how figures are going to get stolen. If you notice, they're not even using plastic ties. They're going back to that recycled twine stuff. I appreciate what they're trying to do. This is not the best way to do it. The rods, the blaster, they were actually frictioned in place in the packaging using cardboard origami. That's not good. I've gone to stores. I have seen young children, when they've done open front packaging before, break toys in the packaging and leave them. For example, Stealth Mode Optimus Prime from the movie. Kid pressed the button and then proceeded to put his hands all over the moving parts to try and hold them into place. Either he didn't understand what was going to happen, or he was intentionally holding it down. Now, this, again, that just can't happen. If you're, like I mentioned, I bought this off of eBay. The person had to take an extra piece of bubble wrap and wrap it across the front of the box to make sure the figure sitting here was protected. Oh, and by the way, even though the accessories were down on the bottom, Bumblebee stops right about here. So you have a whole section of box that is just wasted open space because the figure is so small. Target, Walmart, they're not going to worry about your figure getting damaged. They're going to throw these in boxes without any padding and send it on their way. Amazon too. So this means we're basically going to have to buy from collector-oriented sites like Big Bad Toy Store to make sure we get figures case fresh and taken well care of and protected. I store my figures in the box. This figure is going to have to be permanently wrapped in bubble wrap to make sure it doesn't get scuffed or damaged. I was very fortunate that, as far as I can tell, nothing happened. This is a poor direction for Hasbro and a poor direction for the Transformers brand in general. I understand if you want to protect the environment, this is not how it's going to work. But the only hope we have for change is when people start stealing the figures out of the packaging, which you can do. You can reach in with a pair of nail clippers and cut the twine and lift the figure out. But that's enough for my little rant. Let's get back to the star attraction here. Our pal, Bumblebee. Yes, there we go, Bumblebee. Like I said, this is a fun figure. a great addition to any collection, and allow me to add my voice to the din of the crowd. I really hope we get to see a Wheeljack of sorts. I don't know if it's going to be a deluxe or Voyager size figure with that Cybertronian design that this little figure can fit into. But yeah, definitely worth the pickup if you find it at your local Target. You know, just keep in mind it's going to be an open front, so make sure you examine, make sure you look in, carry a little flashlight with you. You want to see the only thing visible with the flashlight will be the backpack and the gun. The rods are actually stored on the bottom in the back, but I don't think anybody's going to be taking those. So just be aware of what you're looking for. That's about it for the review. If you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. While I always appreciate the views, the likes help communicate to YouTube through their algorithms that my channel is one that should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, please consider joining my Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month or $12 a year. No thrills, no tiers, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like Bumblebee to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of this channel. As you may or may not know, I've invested in a couple new light boxes that one of them I used for this review right now, and I'm continuing to explore different ways to make little tweaks to the channel. And all that is possible through your generosity. But as I always say, if you can't support the $1 a month or $12 a year, watching my videos is thanks enough. As I always say, Patreon is the cherry on an already overly generous sundae. So, with that being said, this is your old pal Chuck for Bumblebee. We will see you next time.